Hey, coin folk, welcome back. Spent a decent part of the weekend doing some coin related stuff here. So I figured I'd take a few seconds and show you what we picked up. We did drop off a CAC submission and then went to a coin show for a day. These will be part of a video at some point. Well, I guess technically they're part of this video, but a more in-depth video. But we got a handful of 1970 Kennedy half dollars and a handful of 1970 mint sets that just the one had a small date 70S in it. Unfortunately, I was hoping for a few more, but take what we can get on those. But like I said, those will be seen again at some point. But for now, that's all the time we'll spend on those. At the shop that I picked up, or dropped off rather, my CAC submission, I picked up a few things there. Picked up a couple seeded half dollars. I wish I had spent a little more time looking at this one, and I wouldn't have purchased it. I picked up two of them, hoping to submit for, try to get a PO1 out of them, but this one is not going to be straight graded, so I won't even spend any time on it. Looks like it might have a little bit of damage. See, it's kind of more flattened out over here. I don't know if somebody purposely did it or not. I'm not real sure. But then on the reverse as well, kind of down on towards the bottom in this area, you could see, it looks like somebody's maybe, I don't know if it's cleaned it and then toned back up again, or if it's like an eraser mark. I'm thinking it might be like an eraser mark, where somebody might have been trying to make sure there wasn't mint mark on it, but that one will more likely be a failure, at least for what I bought it for. It'll still be nice for somebody to fill an album, but this one I feel is kind of a lock for a straight grade PO1. I guess I could get unlucky and they might not feel it's a 1, but to me it looks nice and original. I don't really see any cleaning on it. It's a 1969 Philly, so that'll go in for submission at some point. Set those kind of off to the side. At that same shop, I picked up a handful of off-center Lincoln cents. Purchased some from them before, just as some kind of cheaper items for the eBay store. Won't spend a whole lot of time on those either, but just some nice off-center Lincoln cents, all with full dates on them, so those make it a little easier to sell. Everything else here we picked up at the coin show. Just a few uncirculated rosies that I need for an album so that I can pull some of the coins out of the album that are in it, because I bought an album that's got a bunch of nice toners in it, and I want to pull the toners out, but I don't want to break up a BU album, so purchasing a few of these kind of as I run into them at a decent price, so we can make that happen. Also picked up, I guess while we're here, I get the only one that's raw and exposed out of the way so I don't mess it up. Got a 1969 Denver Kennedy hat. Speaking of messing it up, how'd I know? See, I was trying to be nice and get it out of the way. But it's got some really gorgeous toning on it, on the obverse. Sure, it won't show on camera. It's showing some, but it's not going to show as well as you would see in hand, but pretty cool looking. And I thought for a second, once I got home and got a real good look at it, for just a second, I thought it was going to be FS104, but it's not. Looks like it's DDO number 13. So maybe we'll take a second and throw it under the scope so you can take a look at that. So let me get that set up and we'll come back and take a look at this in just a moment. Alright, so here we go. We got the Kennedy set up under the scope here. This is the first place when I was scoping it that I noticed the doubling. You got the real strong splits on both the top and bottom there for the G there. A little line here in the back kind of bottom part of the G. Doesn't show up as well, but you got a little one down here in the bottom of the O. And those parts are fairly similar to 104. That's why I was leaning that way at first, but unfortunately it's not. Doesn't have quite the separation down at the bottom of the N, which is kind of what started making me believe that it wasn't going to be 104. So a little doubling and pretty extra thickness in the L there. Down here at the bottom of the I, you can see a little bit, I guess up towards the top is what it looks like. And maybe a little in the B. But what really kind of let me know that it wasn't 104 was 113 also has some doubling out here in the chin and up towards the bottom of the lip there. And then this die marker here, this diaphile line coming out of the end, running all the way up through the field there, is one of the die markers for DDO number 13, I think it is. Pretty sure it's 13. But anyways, still cool find. Definitely glad to have it. But like I said, I bought it more for color than anything, so I didn't even know there was any doubling on it till we got it home. So a little extra bonus. But anyways, that's it on this one. Let's move back over to the rest of the pile and see what we got. Alright, so we're back here to the rest of what we had picked up. Picked up just a couple cheaper slabs. They're all actually 43 Denvers. This one and this one are both 6 full steps. And then I also bought one, same thing, 43 Denver, just in 5 full steps. So just some cheaper slabs I picked up at a fair price for some eBay fodder, if you want to call it that. Just some cheaper slabs for the eBay store. A few raw airs I picked up. It was a 2005 Denver off-center California steak quarter. Doesn't appear to be quite as rare as I was hoping at the time, but that's okay. Might have overpaid for it a little bit, but it is in fantastic condition. But just cool steak quarter air. But we'll take it. Even if I did overpay a little bit on this, these I bought all off the same guy, and I think I underpaid on these. It's a small handful of 24 Lincoln cents. It's not showing up real well, but the plating is like real light on the obverse here. And then you've got some parts where it's completely missing on the reverse, down towards the bottom there. And you can see, if I get it in the light right, you can see that it's still got full luster all the way through that part. Kind of letting you know that it wasn't messed with. Like it's just normal luster all the way around. He said somebody had brought in a handful of them that they had pulled out a roll, and he had purchased off of them. So they're all kind of different pattern-wise or whatever, but they're all just some degree of missing plating. Some parts like are just real kind of thin and inconsistent in the plating. But for $10 a piece, I thought they were a fantastic deal, so I was glad to pick them up. I didn't buy all of them. He had a few that were Same type of Arab, but just not as dramatic looking. I went ahead and left those ones behind. But this one's kind of cool looking, like in parts where that plating's real thin. It's almost like pink looking. It's kind of a cool look to it. This one here might be my favorite, like just kind of pattern wise. And then it's got just some real thin plating on the back. A couple heavier spots towards the rim. We got kind of like a crescent kind of shape to it. Just some real splotchy plating on the back. And then the last one. Not a whole lot of plating period on this. It's real thin in some spots and just completely missing in a large chunk of it. So anyways, I felt those were a pretty good deal, so I was happy to pick them up. And lastly, we got some Peace dollars. Bought a few raw off of a couple different dealers. This one bummed me out a little bit, not gonna lie. I missed it at the show. You could see right out kind of under her nose, out in front of her lips and chin. There's a real faint scratch in there. I mean, it's faint, but it's still enough that it won't straight grade, so kind of struck out on this one. But I didn't pay a ton for it. It is a nice kind of gemmy looking 25, which is a common date. But still a nice looking coin. It just had some nice little toning around the obverse, around the periphery there. So had a cool look to it. But speaking of cool looks to Peace dollars, or at least cool to me, this one's got some toning on both sides. A little tougher, 23 Denver. Unfortunately, it's got a pretty decent reading mark there on the, right at her eyeball that stands out crazy. So it's nothing that would grade like super high, but it is still a nice looking coin. I love the reverse on it. It's got like some like golden like toning over most of it. And then it's kind of weird towards the edges, like it's a little splotchy in parts, but definitely looks all original to me. So speaking of all original, bought another 21 Philly, or yeah, well, I guess it is Philly, 21 apiece is what I was trying to say. I had purchased one before in my attempt to put just kind of a Peace dollar set together by just kind of a interesting look to it. And but even when I bought it, I knew it wasn't going to straight grade. This one I believe will straight grade. So I thought I might swap it out of that set that I'm kind of chasing slowly. Just a whole set of Peace dollars, just by kind of eye appeal more than anything. But it would be nice to have one that was straight grade in it. I think it'd be like an AU 58. Hopefully there's nothing hiding in there that I'm not seeing that'll keep it from straight grading, but I think it will. So I was happy to grab that. Another interesting one, already straight graded. 1922 and a 62 and a Rattler. Just got some really dark toning to it, but I just thought it was cool looking. Just kind of the pattern to it. It's like a stormy Peace dollar. I don't know. It's just kind of sweet looking in my opinion, but again, it's not going to be for everybody, but fortunately, I'm buying it for me, so that's really all that matters. If I like it, and I did, that's why I paid $110 for it. Actually, I think I paid a little bit less, but excuse me. But anyways, off the same dealer that I bought this one, this was the same dealer that I cherry picked a 74 Denver 74. 34 Denver, VAM 4, which is like kind of the king of the peace dollar VAMs. And wouldn't you know it, they had one again when I went back this time. Already graded an A58 from Annex. But even with it being on the label, they didn't quite understand what they had, because it was marked at maybe, I guess I could zoom back out a little bit. Hopefully the audio wasn't terrible for the last little bit that I was zoomed in. They had a price for maybe about 20% of what it's worth. Ballpark. Maybe a little less. So yeah, I was happy to purchase it off of them. And this was like almost at the end of day 2 of this fairly large size coin show. So how it had lived that long, I'm not sure, but I'm glad it did. And the second I saw it, I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and buy that one from you. So, very cool peace dollar VAM. It's like D-Chase peace dollar VAM. It's got a pretty strong double die obverse. And then it actually shares the obverse with another variety, the VAM 3. But this one, as you can see, has a different reverse. They call it the small D. It's just a small mint mark on it, and it's placed in a different position. But give me a second. I'll throw this under the scope. We'll kind of take a look at the variety itself. So that way you'll know what you look for if you're out there hunting some peace dollars. So give me just a second. We'll get set up and take a look at it. Alright, so here we are. We're set up under the scope here. You can see some doubling in the In God We part of the motto. It's not as strong here. I mean, it's pretty strong, but the easiest part to pick it up is up here at the top. In these top rays, it's like crazy doubled. Like this is supposed to be one single ray here, same here. And it's just kind of doubled on these rays towards the back of the headdress there. So, I mean, it stands out like a sore thumb. Sorry again. Also doubled down the profile. It's a little tougher to see, especially on a darker coin, but you could kind of see down her nose. Down there at the bottom of the chin, you can see it pretty well. But, like I said, that same obverse is on another variety that is considerably cheaper, which is VAM 3. It's much more common than this one, and the way you could tell is the reverse. Here's your Denver mint mark. Again, it's a little harder to tell in here, but this mint mark is much smaller than the other, and it sits higher on the coin. The larger one would be down right around in this area, and much larger, and it's always like filled in. So you got your small mint mark. You could see the actual middle part of the D. Kind of the dividing line is like this bottom of this ray right here. If you draw it straight out to the edge of the coin, you want that mint mark to be above that line. And then if it sits lower than that, you're going to be looking at the more common of the two varieties. So by far my favorite part of the show easily was this guy. Super pumped to pick up another one. The one I'd picked up before. Let me get a little better light here. Hold on just a second. That light's awful. Alright, that's a little better. With the way the angle of that camera there, it's like hard to actually show the coin. But what was I saying? Oh, the other one that I had purchased a few coin shows back, that I had sent off to PCGS, and that's in one of the videos somewhere along the line here as well. We got a MS62 out of it, and it's actually one of the coins that I dropped off on my way to this coin show, dropped off for the dealer to be sent off to CAC. So we'll definitely be taking a look at that at some point down the road again. So hopefully within the next month or so, we should have that submission back from CAC. So we'll take a look at it again. But that's going to be it. Just a small little gathering of random coin stuffs that we picked up at the coin show / coin shop. So I figured I'd share. And that's going to be it on this, folks. Next up, probably be another hunt, I'm guessing. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. My ordering bank doubled up my halves for me, so we'll see. If nothing else, it'll be a normal hunt, but hopefully a double hunt on the next one. So I will see you over there. Peace.